Good evening. Good evening. What's going on? I did a Topper Shanks video and I never took my makeup off. So that is why I look like this. That is why I look like this. Yeah. What's up? I am over here. I'm over here getting my sea legs back. I feel like I kind of went, I don't know, I was just like not thinking right. And now I'm back to thinking right. The public on YouTube is waiting. Did I accidentally not put this as unlisted? Damn! This is supposed to be unlisted. This is supposed to be just for Patreon. Well, actually, this is okay for today's. Because what I wanted to do tonight was read you all some of the letters that the Kenyan children who I sponsor wrote me. And so there's some kids in Kenya who I sponsor through the Utu Foundation to go to high school. And so they wrote me letters and like sent me drawings. And you know, it's interesting. There's this thing about when you are in a privileged position which we are, many of us, just by being in the United States and being in places where we aren't fearing for our lives per se, in the same way that, you know, someone in Palestine would be, or that someone in Sudan or someone in the undocumented settlements in Kenya might be. And it's a delicate balance of having consciousness for how much you have, however, also not forsaking all that you have in this like self-pity, survivor's remorse type thing. And these letters remind me of that, right? These letters remind me that you have to live, and that I've been in like this weird place for the past 3 weeks. And it was like, I read these letters and it brought me back to like, you cannot feel guilty or like pity yourself for doing the best with what you have access to. You better do it. You better do it, because there are so many that don't have access to that, and you can continue to live life to the fullest while making sure that you are doing your best to make that possible for others. And it's having that dual consciousness that's the difference, right? Some people just stop at living your life to the fullest. They just stop there, and they're just like, I mean, you know, I'm just doing me. And it's like, no, it has to extend, because in the forest, you might be fortunate enough to have been positioned to get the most light. Lucky you. Lucky you. However, that means that you're gonna have to send some nutrients to those who may not get access to that same light. And yes, Mrs. Debbie, it is our responsibility. So I wanted to read you some of these letters. Now, some of them came at Christmas. So there are like, Merry Christmas. But I'm trying to match them with the names. Hold on. There's Methusela. Methusela, baby. Okay. I just remember Jennifer Lewis's line in in Preacher's Wife. She is old as Methuselah. Let me just say that the Topper Shakes video I shot today might be my favorite. It might be my favorite. Okay, this is Sebe. This is Sebastian. This is Sebastian. Woo, 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 woo. I love the drawings too. I just love seeing what's going on in kids' heads. You know, I just love seeing how the kids be having things going on in their head, and you just get to see it in the drawings and in the writings. So hold on, I'm almost ready to go. Almost ready, and their handwriting be like super interesting too. These kids have very unique handwriting, and it's like super like top level, and also just like very like artsy, like artistic. Like the handwriting itself is artistic. Okay, I got it. This is Mary. Okay. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready for me to read? Stop falling down. Okay, I don't know where Mary's drawing is. I think this is her drawing over here. Emmanuel, Sebastian. Okay. All right. This is Mary. The security shirt is hilarious. Mary is, for those of y'all just joining, I'll put a graphic up. Reading letters. Hold on. Reading letters from the high school students. From the students whose. So for those who don't know, this happens every Sunday on Patreon. We do a small doses bonus episode. We call it the softer side of seals. So if you're like, why doesn't she ever act together? It's because this is where we just be hanging out, chit-chatting. Okay. So you all are getting a free look at what we be doing. Hopefully that will encourage you to subscribe to Patreon. Patreon also, I will also be posting our next Passage Posse, which is where we get together and talk about a passage of a book. And I'll be posting that tonight. Our Passage Posse this month is going to be dedicated to either children's books or a particular writer who just passed this weekend. So I have to look and see what I want to do. Reading letters from the students who high school these I sponsor in Kenya. Okay. So shout out to the Utu Foundation. The Utu Foundation is these two white girls that said we're going to get it together for the kids. Okay. All right. So we said we were going to read Mary first. So this is Mary. And look at her handwriting. I love it. Okay. Mary says, "Hi, my dear, lovely Mom Amanda. I hope that you are good. My name is Mary Osobo. I am a student from Indusu Girls High School. At school, I have different duties to work for. First, my duty at school is to study and work smart so that I can help my country and be a better person in life and in future. All of this I do so that I can inspire people in life. My second duty in school, I always participate in drama festivals. What made me want to participate in drama is that it makes me enjoy, have some fun, and even makes my body to feel alive. In drama festivals, we like dancing and singing kissy and luo songs because this beats and that way of dancing is very nice. We always use foods. We always use goods to make our drama clothes and even paint them so that they can attract the judges during a competition. I wish one day you could come to Kenya and enjoy our way of life here. I'm sure you will really enjoy it and it will be fun. I wish you could come and enjoy our meals like cooked bananas. I hope you will enjoy. I wish one day to see you and have fun with you. Again, I wish one day to see you and have fun with you. She said it twice. She said it twice. Okay. I would like to thank you for all that you have done for me. And if it was not for you, I really do not know where I would be at this moment. Oh, wow. I would like to say thank you to you, and may the Almighty grant you long life in earth. I love you so much, from Mary Julius. Thank you, Mary. That's Mary, and she gave me this little bunny. I got this little bunny right here. Thank you, Mary. Okay, this is Methusela. Methusela. All right, I know I better go have fun with her, Laurel. She said it twice. I hope I will see you again. I hope I will see you. Okay? I'm saying I hope, but what I mean to say is get on the plane. Oh, and this is also from Mary. I love the butterflies. This is also from Mary. Oh, this is from Mary and Sebastian. Oh, this is actually Sebastian. Methuselah, this is Sebastian. So this is Mary Osebe. I thought it said and Sebastian. Okay, this is Mary Osebe. This is her drawing. This is Sebastian, the homie. Let's see, do we have Sebastian? Did Sebastian give me a drawing? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Sebastian cut this out for me. It's balloons. All right. So this is Sebastian over there in Kenya. Okay. He has a really dope smile. Sebastian, this is his handwriting. Look at that. Look at how sharp their handwriting is. It's just I love it. Okay. Dear Amanda. Nope. This is Regina. Dear Amanda, this is Sebastian's drawing. I hope you are fine. My name is Sebastian from Kenya. Learning in Manuni Secondary School. I am in Form 2. I'm writing this letter to say thank you on how you have done great things in my life. Sending some greetings and one love to your family. All in all, I'm wishing you a happy Christmas. I wish you were here to talk to you directly, giving out some gifts, although I don't know what you would like to have. Although I don't know what you would like to have in the gift box. We can play crazy games in my favorite park or wherever you wish to be. I wish you were here to have fun with me. They be like, I wish you were here. Come through. Once again, I'm grateful for what you have done, for the Lord will honor you. And the most important thing I've learned since I joined secondary school is that we should love and help one another, just as you have done for us, and have this respect to everyone. Yours sincerely, Sebastian. And remember, they're writing this in English. Remember that. English is not their first language, but they're writing this in English. So, when I met these young people, when I went to Kenya with this company called One Love Travel Club, and it was a really incredible trip. And then we were going to do a trip to Brazil, and then the chick who ran it, she just canceled the trip. And she canceled it like 2 weeks before and then fell off the earth. I don't know what people be going through. I really don't. I really don't know what she was going through, because I reached out to find out what she was going through to see if I could be of some assistance. And she did not tell me. She did not tell me. So, I did my part. But most importantly was that I got connected to these students and to the Bristol School in one of the undocumented settlements in Kenya and in Nairobi. And we got to go to the school. And if you subscribe to my Patreon, you can go to the Amanda on the Move series, where I did like an 8-part series on my trip to Kenya. I did an 8-part series on my trip to Kenya. And I did a whole episode of going to the school and really showing you all what the school looks like. And I got to tell you, the school has improved since how it started. So what you're going to see in those episodes is actually an improvement. The fact that they have desks, the fact that they have pencils. One of the things that was so incredible was that the posters that they had would be like anatomy posters about human anatomy, bird anatomy. Then it would be like math posters. Then there would be like language posters. And they were all hand drawn, because apparently they couldn't afford to get the official posters. So they would go online and hand draw the poster. And it would still be a big poster. And it was just like, okay, so everybody's a genius. Oh, got it. So the teachers, the educators. But what happens is that, folks have so much, dysfunction in their families. They have so much difficulty and disruption and destabilization in their families because of the lack of funds. That it makes it hard for some of the students to stay in class. A lot of the boys they're literally like kicked out the house at 16. And so they end up having to sleep at the school. And so, it ends up being a lot more than just a place to be educated. And that is also echoed in the messaging that's throughout the schools. Here we are in the United States, where their biggest thing is trying to put up the 10 commandments in schools, even though none of them follow the 10 commandments. These people be letting people die left and right. They be cheating on their wives left and right. They be stealing from folks left and right. So I don't even understand the hypocrisy of putting up the 10 commandments to remind yourself every day of how terrible a person you are. But what was really dope was that the posters, the language was so much about being a sharing, caring person. Respect was not like verbalized for the kids to see in respectability politics, right? It was literally respect is, and then it would be like respect is showing, listening to someone when they're speaking, sharing with someone when they don't have, you know what I mean? Like, yes. And don't get me started on the English language posters, because I was like, can you send some of these to the United States? Because contractions are killing the people. Okay. It's a chokehold. The contractions have got folks in a chokehold. They do. There, your, it's rough. It's rough. It's a struggle. Living every day like a hustle, another job to juggle. Yes. 1 second. Okay. This is Regina. This is Regina. So Regina went through a very, very traumatic experience earlier this year. And she apparently has like a countenance that is just like pure jolliness. So they were like, something definitely went down because it was showing up in her work. But her countenance, her disposition, if you will, was not like giving it away. So they had to really work with her to get her to divulge so they could get her, you know, the therapy that she needed and also hold the person accountable. So, okay, so Laurel, they thought she was masking because they were like, oh, she's masking, but basically everyone in her village, like her sister, was like, no, this is who she is. This is literally like, this is how she is. So like, she just don't, like, that's why it's showing up through her work. Cause like, this is just how she is all the time. So, here's Regina's message. So for those who are just joining, I am reading letters from the students whose high school fees I sponsor in Kenya. Big ups to the Utu Foundation. The Utu Foundation is an organization that I got connected to when I went to Kenya 2 years ago. And we were literally sitting there at this school in the undocumented settlement, which is the proper word for quote unquote slum. And they were saying that basically, like, because of school fees in Kenya, a lot of the kids, even though they go through Bristol school in the undocumented settlement, like, they can't afford to go to secondary school. So they end up stopping school at the equivalent of 8th grade because they can't afford it. And 4 years of school in Kenya for secondary school is like $4,000. $4,000 can change like a Kenyan kid's life. And so there was like a group of kids that needed the funding to go to school. And it ended up being like 28 kids in total, but they were at different like stages. So it wasn't like 4,000 for each of them, but there was like 28 kids that needed some funding, either because maybe their funder had pulled out or maybe they had like stopped going to school and now they're trying to come back, etc. And so I was able on the spot to tell them like, yeah, I'll fund it. And I hope to be able to continue to do so. You know, like I had to really check myself over this last week because I don't know. I just was getting really kind of like dejected and just feeling like I didn't have any real direction in where I'm going next in my life. And feeling like, because, you know, the thing about it is that when you have been driven by a certain doctrination for so long, like you have to adjust. And I talk about this quite a bit where it's like you've been driven by capitalism for so long. So like, you know, the adjustment to doing the work that you do takes a little bit more like thoughtfulness. And I just kind of got stuck. I just kind of got stuck in where the trajectory needs to go now and how do I stay honest to my work, and then also like how do I stay committed to y'all. Like I just feel like I had lost sight of the fact that like it is my connection to you all that makes all of this really unique and special and worthy. It is the connection to other people who also are connected and like our forest that we're building. And I feel like I had momentarily maybe like lost sight of just how valuable that is. And so like I just had like epiphanies this weekend, and I did a lot of cleaning this weekend, and it was like, I mean, this makes sense, but like the tidying of my house like was tidying my brain. And it was oh, so you gotta do blah, blah, blah. And it just gave me it gave me like a boost of clarity and energy to give to y'all and to continue this work, you know. And I also understand that my audience is has shrunk substantially because my ideals have become so much sharper, you know, and I'm not aligned with the same type of mainstream thinking that I was before. Like once you say like I don't rock with Democrats, I mean your audience just goes bloop. Immediately. If you are a Black woman and you say I don't rock with Democrats, zing, 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 right? So now I had also like fallen back into Instagram because I was like, I need to still be getting these messaging out, the workout, etc. So I had started posting on Smart Funny and Black Productions on Instagram, but I'm gonna again, that was a short relapse. I'm back. I'm now at Substack. So if you're looking for me, this is where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be at Substack, and I'm also going to be at Whatnot. So I will now be doing Amanda Land Exports like shows at Whatnot. And Kimberly said, screw the Dems. And so those are the apps that you need to get if you want to just be a part of the whole Amanda Seales kind of like universe. It's, Patreon if you want to subscribe, and then Whatnot and Substack. And if you're already subscribed to Patreon, then you will actually get whatever the subscribers on Substack get. There'll be like maybe like one thing that you won't get, but that's where I'm going to be at. I'm restructuring. And for the rest of the year, What Would the Ancestors Say is really, you're going to get sick of hearing about What Would the Ancestors Say. And that is by design. It's going to be in everything I'm doing because I really believe in this show, in this project, in its message, in its effort, its ability to empower folks. And I feel like I have not. Yes, Patricia, delete Twitch. And I feel like I have not given it its commitment because I had this book that I was going to have to commit to. So that's out the window. That is out the window. And over the course of the rest of the year, I will be leaning into What Would the Ancestors Say in a myriad of ways. Some of them will be able to be supported monetarily. Some of them will be able to support it with your eyes. Some of them will be able to be supported. Eyes and ears. Some of them will be able to be supported, just for free, etc. I've given up on Blue Sky. It's just not my jam. Substack, YouTube, Patreon, Whatnot. And I don't think you understand how much content that requires. That's a shit ton of content. Okay. However, I had to remind myself that it is, but I need to then think about just making content that makes me happy, and don't corral myself into it like it's a job. Like that's the part that starts messing with your mind. That's the part that starts messing with your mind. And so, but that's where the exhaustion is. The exhaustion is that I start thinking about it like, it's a job. And it's like, no, this is a blessing. The thing about the Substack thing and the writing is that I just don't get to write enough. And I be thinking about writing all the time, but I just don't have time. So, that's the thing. It's like, okay, but now that's why I have to drop down to once a week for Views from Amanda Land. I've got to do it. I've got to do it. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Rolando. So, this is Regina's letter. This is Regina's drawing. I love the butterflies. All right. Hey Amanda, I am Regina and I am 16 years old, and I would like to take this time to wish you a Merry Christmas. I hope you will enjoy this moment first. That moment first in Kenya. We have good things like fish and ugali in Kenya. Sometimes in Kenya, we enjoy our Christmas in different ways. First, you can go out with your friends to have fun. Secondly, your mom or dad can take you to a big mall to have fun. In Kenya, we have many Black people. And they are good to everyone. I wish one day I can meet you so that we can have a good time together and to have fun with you so that you can get to know me better. I'd like to come to America, at least to change the environment. And you come to Kenya to see beautiful things. I guess you're saying for a change of environment. And you come to Kenya to see beautiful things we have in Kenya. In Kenya, we have a lot A lot to dream about. I think you need to come and see for yourselves. I think you will like Kenya more than America. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to study and to do better in school. I really thank you. Thank you, Regina. She said, we have a lot of Black people in Kenya. Okay, this is Rogers. Now, here's the comedy. Rogers did not send me a physical, like he didn't send me like a picture. But I think this is his self-portrait. This is Rogers' self-portrait, y'all. We must work hard to achieve our goals. Art by Rogers. Okay, Rogers, I see it. I'm with it. Yeah, I see it. Okay, Rogers says, Dear Amanda, hi, Amanda. I hope you're fine, and I'm very happy for writing this letter to you because of what you have done for me. I'm really grateful and thankful for your kindness, love, and your care for me because I have got to learn good virtues from you, and I've also tried to put it into practice. I have learned many things since I joined high school till now that I am in and Form 2. Most of the important virtues that I have learned are these. 1, we should love and help one another just as you have done for us. 2, we should have respect for everyone. And 3, one must work hard in order to make his or her dreams come true. Once again, I am grateful for what you have done, for the Lord will honor you. Yours sincerely, Rogers. Thank you, Rogers! Yay! We love a list, don't we, MB? I love a list. Okay. I love a list. So these people didn't get to write letters. Oh, wait, no, all right, this is Barack. Barack drew me this. Thank you. We love a bubble letter. Y'all remember bubble letters? We love bubble letters. So I didn't get a picture from Barack, but he wrote me a letter. Okay. Dear Amanda, how are you? Hope you're doing okay. My school life has been going okay, thanks to you. My school life has been going okay. Thanks to you, I don't have to worry about getting sent home for school fees. Love you. In my academics, I've not been doing well, but I promise to work harder and harder to get a better grade. Okay, Barack. I thank you again for sponsoring me and helping me in my academic life. Your help has really played a big role in my life and for my parents. May the Lord protect you and bless you in everything you do. Sincerely, Barack. Barack hit me with the bubble letters. Barack, you've been practicing your bubble letters and not practicing your schoolwork. That's what you need to get focused on, Barack. Stay focused on your schoolwork, Barack. Dang. Okay. We got Brian right here. Brian hit me with, he said, I'm going to show you some rugby. Okay. That's his rugby game experience. All right. He's on the grass. That's the rugby ball. All right. Okay. So this is Brian. Brian had a lot to say. Okay. He started with Dear Amanda and then was told it's Amanda. Okay. Dear Amanda, hello. How are you doing? I am doing well, and I'm going to introduce to you the experience I have gone through since I joined my high school last year. Introduce it to me. Yes, that's a little present at the top because it's a gift. Okay. The school is a bit far from my home. It took me long to adapt to the cool climate of Patch, the nickname of Nairobi School, which is situated in Nairobi City. But as time was passing, I could walk around without a sweater, something I longed for. We stayed in our dormitories for about 1 week before attending our classes so as to relax and walk around the school compound. For the first few months after attending the class lessons, I was struggling to do things such as waking up early in the morning and extending to read. These things were hard for me to manage. By the time we were doing our interim exams, the results were not so pleasing to my parents. And so they always reminded me to revise over the holiday. Even though I had counted myself among the thick-minded fellows, I tried to go through the areas I had problems, specifically maths, and indeed, I was enjoying solving some problems in maths and physics. The more I worked, the lighter my mind became, and now there's hope that I'm heading to get the grade of my target. This is a writer! This is a writer! This is a writer, y'all! You know what? I'm going to write them letters back. Right? I have to write them letters back. I have to write them letters back. This is a writer. That man took us all through. That young man took us all through. I was riveted. I didn't know where it was going to end. I didn't know how it was going to conclude. I believe in you. I believe in you, Brian. Brian said, rugby, 1, makes you focus. We love a list. 2, makes you socialize well. 3, it keeps you in good company. 4, makes you explore places abroad. Okay, so he's got big plans with this rugby. You're right, Patricia. Isabel, I need to send them some doodles too. OMG. Thank you, Rolando. People get D's out here and they're like, I did it. Do you know my dad? Ugh. Okay, this is Emmanuel, who also had a lot to say. Okay. I just be wanting, I'm just like, oh my God, can I just like send them stuff? Like there's a, so do you know what a boli is? A calabash? I don't know. I don't have the hands on on the calabash right now, but I'll show you a calabash maybe tomorrow. But a calabash is, there's a man in the marketplace in Grenada who sells calabash. And so he had all these calabash. You know, I want to show you. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So this is a calabash. And a calabash is a calabash. It's a calabash fruit and then it gets hard. Okay. And we call them a boli. And I paint these. So that's something that I'll be doing also on Whatnot is ever so often. I will paint one of these and make it available for auction. Okay. But like when I was in Grenada, I was in the market to get to calabash. And so the calabash man, Lloyd, he also would engrave the calabash. And I was like, well, what are you using to engrave? And he said, well, somebody stole his like set. So no, I didn't see what he used. He used it like a screwdriver and a, you know, like he beaten it with like a little hammer. So I'm like, I need to get back to Grenada so I can bring Lloyd a new set. And I feel the same way with Kenya. I'm like, oh my God, I need to bring Brian. Brian needs to get a notebook and some color pencils, you know, like everybody, there's stuff that I got to bring everybody. I'm overwhelmed. Okay. So this is Emmanuel. Emmanuel really leaned into the Christmas of things. Emmanuel also learned. Do you remember when you learned how to draw a cube? Do you remember when you learned how to draw a cube? I love how certain things in high school don't change. I wish somebody would have the S. Thank you, Rachel, reminding me that step by step. I wish somebody hit me with the S. You know what S I'm talking about, okay? You know what S I'm talking about. Bop, 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 bop. I'm gonna hit you with a bop bop. I'm gonna hit you with a bop bop. I'm gonna hit you with a bop 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 bop. Listen, this right here was intense. When you learned that, it was like, oh my God. And then I started learning how to make it have a little 3D element to it, right? A little 3D element to it. And you was like, oh, I'm out here. I'm out here. Listen, and Deborah said her boys be drawing them everywhere. Oh, man. Okay, so here's what Emmanuel had to say to me. Dear Amanda, hi, I hope you are fine. Okay, Rolando, please. I was going to say it, and then I said, Amanda, stop going off the beaten path. When I tell you I believed in MASH, I really believed in MASH. I was like, oh my God, how am I in a mansion today and a shack tomorrow? But you know what? That's what life is. That's what life is. Because you could be in a mansion today or a shack tomorrow. Okay? That's actually what life is. Right? You like, how I'm married, but I got a jalopy. That's what life is. That's what life is. Okay? It's real. It's real. Sweatshirts already said MASH used to ruin my day. I feel you. MASH was very serious. Okay. Wait, Deborah, we're not talking about that MASH, but do 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 do. It's not surprising that I never ended up on Black Lady Sketch Show. Look whose show it is. Everybody else is on that show but me. You think that's by accident? Because you know I'm one of the funniest of the funny. Okay, that's just good old fashioned Black Hollywood hating. That's all that is, baby. Good old fashioned Black Hollywood hateration. Okay, that's all that is. Because your girl is one of the funniest to ever do it. Just what it is. But let me tell you something. MASH, as an adult now, solid show. Solid show. Okay. I started watching MASH as an adult and I was like, oh, okay. Okay. I get it now. Everyone hated MASH as a kid. You know what? Because it was also like the colors were so muted and it was like, like, get this off of here. What is this? But, you know, now as an adult, I'm like, oh, medical Korean War, I'm learning so much. Oh, yeah, Rolando, very intentional. It's all good, though. I never thought it was that funny anyway. They had certain sketches that I thought like stood out. Basically, any sketch where Gabrielle and Quinta are in is always a good sketch because Gabrielle and Quinta are hilarious. Okay. Are you ready? No, we are not. Me and Robin are not similar at all. We are light skinned. So that's cut it right there. I don't know how you deduced that me and Robin Thede are similar. I'm not sure where are you drawing that comparison from? We are literally light skinned and we have Anglo-Saxon features. That's it. Come on, y'all. Come on. No, we are not similar. No. No. All right. Dear Amanda, hi. I hope you are fine. Well, let me give you a story. So when I auditioned for Insecure, I had to do 4 auditions. my homegirl the other day, who I hadn't talked to in like years and years and years and years and years, she was my assistant back in the day, and we just caught up again, right? And sweatshirt story, you know what? You said it, not me. And so I was like, my homegirl was like, oh, I think it's great that Issa put you on Insecure. And I was like, what do you mean she put me on? And she was like, that she like brought you into the show. And I was like, Issa didn't bring me into the show. I had to audition. She was like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, like I auditioned for Insecure. Thank you, Tim. I did 4 auditions for Insecure. She was like, wait. What do you mean? She was like, I just thought that like, because you knew Issa from before, like you were just brought into the show. I was like, no. I mean, that's not even shade. Like I have no problem with having audition for the show. I mean, you're on HBO, like that's just kind of what they're going to make you do. But I was like, no, I auditioned 4 times. It was very stressful. And so the last audition was, we had to do kind of like screen tests with different Derricks. And there were 2 other women that were auditioning. It was me, Tony Trucks, and Robin Thede. And when I had met Robin 2 years earlier, no, I had met Robin a year earlier. Was it even a year? No, it wasn't a year. I had met Robin maybe like 7 months earlier, when I had first moved to LA. And I had an agent who set me up to meet her. And so I went and met her at Le Pont Quotidien. I don't know how to pronounce it, but y'all be annoyed when I don't pronounce it right. So it's just Le Pont Quotidien, okay? And I just remember sitting with Robin there. And at the time, she was either still head writer or just wrapping head writer on the nightly show on Comedy Central with the great Larry Wilmore. And I just remember we were eating. I remember we sat down to eat and she was like, yeah, I don't know anything about you. I was like, why am I at this meeting? And I was like, oh, my agent wanted me to come and meet you because, you're a comedy writer and I am a comedian. And she was like, yeah, I've just never heard of you. I've never heard of you. It's like these are the type of things that would happen in LA, and you're just like, I'm like, I don't even know if is this normal? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. That seems odd since we were both in New York, and like, I've also been around it. And why are you asking me and Quinta are similar? Nobody is like me. Nobody is like me. Everybody is their own person. Nope, me and Quinta, I love Quinta. She's fabulous, hilarious, and has always been super kind. But me and Quinta are not similar. Like, we need to be. But, I just remember in that moment just being like, dang, is this LA? Because like, why would she tell me this anyway? Like, even if she had never heard of me, it was like, why? Why? But she at that time was definitely, she was popping in the sense that she was like, she had been given the title of like the first Black woman in late night. And she was the showrunner for the nightly show. And, being a showrunner is a big deal for any show. So that was weird and awkward. And then here we are, like, that was in September 2015, around there. And then fast forward, now it's February or March, I think, of 2016. And we're both in the final round for Insecure. And and so basically what happens is they'll like take you guys, they take us all over, and then they'll like pair us up differently. And so there was Will Catlett was also included in the possible Derek's, but then he got cut. But shout out to Will Catlett. He does a great job in Forever. In the series Forever, I mean, he really handled that role fabulous. He's also fabulous in the movie with Tiana Taylor in Harlem. Just mwah. So shout out to Catlett for doing his thing on that. So it was now Wade Elaine Marcus and the brother who played on that Nickelodeon show about the smart black kid. Damn. He was a really cool guy too. He ended up doing a spot on my show, a cameo on Get Your Life. If you've never seen my web series, Get Your Life, 2 seasons, that's also another reason to subscribe to Patreon. So now they cut Tony. And so it's just me and not Smart Guy, Nickelodeon. So now it's not Smart Guy. So now it's me and Robin, and then the other brother and Wade. Not Cousin Skeeter. It's about a smart black kid. There's more than one show about a smart black kid. I just can't remember what the name of it is. Stop saying Smart Guy, please. And so we now are sitting in the area. So basically what would happen is it would be like they'll put like Wade with Robin, and then they'll put me with Wade, and then they'll put Robin with the other brother, and then me with the other brother. So I'm just sitting out there listening. Y'all, when Robin went in, they was all like, hey girl. I was like, why am I even here? Why am I even here? I was like, because she already squad with them. So like, I'm not going to book this. And I was definitely like, this is pointless. Like, I'm not going to book this because they all know each other. And y'all are saying, come on, but like, I respect it. If you go in there and you know everybody, like, that's what it be like. What up? You know, I mean, I don't do that, but I get it. Okay. I get it. So I was just kind of like sitting there like, I mean, I could really head out, but you know, we're on a lot. And so when you on the lot be big as shit. So it's not as easy as you think it is to just head out. Okay. Like you really got to be like, where am I on this studio lot? How am I going to get out of here before? How am I going to get out of here? So I just was like, just stick it out. So they do their scene. I go in, I do the joint with the other cat. Then I come back out. Now Robin goes in with Wade. They come back out. Now I go in with Wade, and Wade and I do our scene. And at that time, Tiffany and Derek's relationship was a bit different. It was more like, actually it was like the opposite of what it ended up being on the show. Because on the show, their business was always like tucked. But in the audition, the way they were written was that their business is just out there. They're kind of like the arguing married couple. And so we did the scene a few times. And that was that. Like I remember walking out of there like, well, that was an experience. And that was that. And then I don't know how many days later it was, but I remember I got a text from Issa and it was 3 thumbs up, but they were white thumbs ups. They were white hand thumbs ups. And I just remember being like, is this, I don't know what this necessarily means because is it RJ Smith? There it is. RJ Smith. Yes. But she was on a Samsung. So I think that's why they were white thumbs ups, because she was on a Samsung and I was on an iPhone. And so I was just like, I don't know what this means. And I remember texting back, I don't know what this means. Is this positive? And then I was driving on the 101, and she said, "You got it." And I was like, "Ah!" Because I had been in LA, and I just was not booking nothing, and I wasn't even really getting callbacks. And I had literally like just started getting callbacks because I had stopped giving a damn, right? Like I really had changed my mindset about these auditions, because everybody would be telling me all this extra jazz about auditions. Like, you got to approach it like this, and you got to do this. And I remember I went to like this acting coach for like I remember I went to an acting coach to have a consultation before signing up for her acting class. And people had suggested this broad. So I got there, and she was basically telling me that I didn't know how to audition. And I was like, I mean, I've been auditioning like, since I was a kid. So I've definitely had a lot of experience with auditioning. And she was like, yeah, but like, would you just get up and do a stand-up routine if you hadn't rehearsed it? And I was like, yeah. Like, that's basically what stand-up is a lot of times. Like, you get up there and you figure it out. Like, I don't do the same stand-up routine every time. And she was like, well, when you're doing auditions, you need to go in there having fully rehearsed the scene and, really knowing all the ins and outs of it. And I was like, I can see that, but she was like, let me show you a clip. Let me show you a clip. So she shows me a clip of this show. I don't even remember the show. The show had the dude from 500 Summers, and from Inception. He was in this show. So she shows me the scene from the show, and I was just like, okay. And she was like, this is a great example of how an exchange should happen in a scene. And I just remember in my mind thinking, like, if this is what Joseph Gordon-Levitt, exactly. And I just remember being like, if this is what the lady think is the standard, because like, it wasn't like it was bad, but it was just, it wasn't like she showed me some Laurence Olivier stuff. It was just like, okay. But I was like, if this is what she's saying is the standard, then we have a very different meter, if you will. And she was like, well, basically, the way that I work is, I do a class and, it's an intensive. And I get that for people who are not confident actors. I have literally been a trained actor. I'm like a trained actor. Like, I didn't come to Los Angeles to like learn how to act. I have been a working actress for a really long time. I just got my new SAG card today, and you see what it say, right? Member since 1994. So I remember leaving that audition and calling my mom and being like, really, like, I don't know what to make of this. And she was like, man, just do what you know how to do. Just do what you know how to do. So that was the day I just let it go. And I just started treating these auditions and being like as my full authentic self. Like, I would go in there and ask questions. I'll be having like full conversations. And before, I would be like, really kind of just like sticking to the skills, because that's what people around me were telling me to do. But I had to realize that the people around me, they were different types of actors than me, and they were different types of people than me, etc. So the first callback I got, and I talk about this in my book, Small Doses, my first callback was when I called them out for being racist in the damn sides. I was like, why is she described as a sassy Black woman? That's racist. That's racist. They were like, why did you play this role like this? And I said, because y'all was racist in the sides. So I decided to play it differently because I felt like the description was racist. That's why. So, and then the auditioner was like, you see, And he turned to his assistant. You see, I told you it was racist. Go get her the callback sides. Go get her the callback sides. And I did the callback on the spot. Be yourself. Be yourself. If yourself is an honest, pure person, be that. The world wants you not to be that, because the world is not that. The people in charge in this world that we're in right now, they don't want that because it exposes them. It makes them second guess themselves. But I like to think that there had to be at some point, sometime, when people were living in their pure selves. Be that. Be that. Challenge the things about yourself that are harmful. But be you. The minute I started being me in auditions, I started getting callbacks. And the thing about callbacks is that even if I wasn't getting the role, you still feel seen, right? Like you still feel like, okay, but I'm getting traction. And sometimes I would go into auditions just because they send me here. I know I'm not going to get this. They send me here to be a hacker. I don't know. I'm not a hacker. That's not my role. For Girl Trip, I've told this story several times. When I went into Girl Trip, I was like, I don't know why y'all got me in here when you know Tiffany Haddish's about to get this. Why y'all in here? But me and Malcolm Lee are still cool to this day. But I told him straight up. And by the way, when I auditioned for Girl Trip, Malcolm Lee, the director, was on damn Zoom. Okay. And the Zoom was like angled like this. And so when I walked up and I was like this, and I was like, can we change his angle? Because basically this is a pelvic view. I feel like I'm at a gynecologist. Like, what are we doing? Speaking of pelvic views, so I told my mom that the birds, I have a birdhouse. She got me a birdhouse. And I told her that, you know, the birds be like really just murking that food every day. And she was like, oh yeah, those birds will eat you out. So I let that slide the first time. I let it slide. But then we were talking a few days later and she said, yeah, I'm telling you, those birds will eat you out. I said, okay, we got to address this because I don't want you out in the world saying this and you don't know what you're saying. So just that phrase, when it's in that context, that is referencing oral sex. What? Yes. So you need to, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Okay. Cut it out. Cut it out. What? Yeah. So, you know, just gotta share. Like, I really was gonna let it rock, but that second time, I felt like she would be at Home Depot saying that to somebody, and I don't know. I can't have her out here. I can't have her out here like that. No. So you got to end it with house and home. You got to say the full house and home. Got to say it all. Can't cut that one short. Can't cut it short. There you go, Adrian. Exactly. Got to say the whole thing. But yeah, when I auditioned for Girl Trip, I was definitely like, I don't know why y'all got me in here. You know, this is Tiffany role. And they was like, well, you know, just put your own spin on it. I was like, I mean, I guess. I drove all the way out to Santa Monica. I might as well. So I'll read these last two letters. So if you're just joining us, I'm reading letters from the students who I fund high school fees for in Kenya. We have had a great time hearing from them and their young voices. It has been so dope and so fabulous. So these letters, I'm just now getting them, but they sent them at Christmas. So that's why you're hearing Merry Christmas. And that's why I'm getting like trees with cubes, okay? That are gifts. So this is from Emmanuel. Dear Amanda, I hope you are fine and healthy. Thank God we are alive and doing well. Us in Kenya, we are great and doing well. Thanks a lot for caring for us and trying to know how we are doing in Kenya. No problem. The main aim of writing this letter, thesis. The main aim of writing this letter is to appreciate the great work you are doing for us, and may God continue to bless you. Truly, thanks for your cooperation. Making sure I am in school, working very hard for a better future ahead of me. In school, I'm becoming more useful in my studies. My performance is great, and in my subjects, I keep improving. This is due to your kindness and goodness that you have shown to us. Although there are some challenges, like there are not enough revision textbooks and shopping that enables one to be comfortable with his or her studies, keeping it a buck, especially on revision textbooks, this leads to weakness in some of the subjects that one is learning, resulting to low grades. Got it. This is really challenging. I hope it will be corrected. Thank you so much. In school, I have to catch up with a serious moment of studies and leading to great grades this year. During my hobbies, I usually play piano so that I can become the best keyboardist. And usually I read my favorites because one that sticks in my mind is that hard work pays and in everything I do, I must put God first so that my work can be done successfully. Thank you, Amanda, and may God bless you and your great work you are doing. Yours faithfully, Emmanuel Musa. Thank you, Emmanuel Musa. All right, now this is the last one. This is from Methusela. Hey, Methusela. Apparently, he's been doing like really good in school. And he's giving me cubes. He said, I learned how to draw poinsettias and cubes, and you about to get all of them. And it says, Happy Valentine's. I'll take it. Handwriting. Dear Amanda, Happy Valentine's. I hope you are fine. I really enjoyed Valentine's Day here in our country, Kenya. We did a lot of interesting things, many of which I would like to share with you. But going back to the solemn reason for writing this letter, I would like to thank you for your support, most importantly, for the scholarship. He said, let's not get off the beaten path. How I wish that I was able to see you in person in order to show you how grateful I am and give you my appreciation. Actually, let me pause right here because someone asked, how could they help? So I'm going to put this up here for y'all. Hold on real quick. Where is my keyboard? Hold on. Where is my keyboard? Shooby-doo-doo-doo. All right. Oh, no. All right. This. Ba-da-dee-da-da. That's how you can get to the Utu Foundation. Okay. How I wish that I was able to see you in person in order to show you how grateful I am and give you my appreciation. You have really helped me transition to high school, and I am now in Form 2, my second year. This far I have reached, it has taken the hand of God. Okay. Without you, Amanda, I don't know where on earth and how I would be right now. Wow. You have helped me join high school, and I've gotten to learn new things. Earlier, before I joined high school, I used to do a lot of childish things. Okay. But now, thanks to my principal, I have been transformed into a man. Okay, Methus. As our principal says, give me your boy, I'll give you back a gentleman. I have been able to understand the wider part of knowledge here in high school. I have learned so many things, and now I feel that I am somewhere and I am headed somewhere. I have interacted with new people and also made new friends with this. I really appreciate all your efforts. May God bless you. I promise that I will do my best. Best wishes, Methusela Akira. Oh, okay. Methusela said, I've been transformed into a man. Okay. Okay, Methus. All right, baby. So those are the kids. Those are the kids. I am so honored to be able to support them in their education, in their elevation. You know, I remember when I had first shared this, people were like, why are you helping kids in Africa and not helping kids in America? And I was like, well, first of all, I do help kids in America, but also the money goes a lot further. You can help more kids in Africa with less than you can here in America. And we just need to be helping people everywhere if we can. Yes, I know, MB. Like, they were like, why are you doing that, but you're not doing this? I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't broadcast everything I'm doing because that's not why I'm doing it. So what are you doing? There's red tape in the US, but also it's just like, you know, you can send 28 kids. You can send 28 kids to school in Kenya for the same money that you can send one to college in the US. Mm-hmm. We are the children. All right. So shout out. Rolando, you silly for that. So shout out to y'all. Again, if you are just joining, I was letting folks know that if you want to be a part of like the Amanda Seals ecosystem, download the Whatnot app and download Substack and subscribe. And I am not going to be posting on Instagram anymore. I know I had started, but get me out of there. No, get me out of there. I'm taking it back. I will be posting on Substack. So you'll be able to see clips from you'll be able to see clips from What Would the Answers Say? You'll be able to see clips from Views from Amanda Land. You'll also be able to see my writing. A lot of people don't know that I'm a very good writer. So if you are into writing and reading, I hope that you'll join my Substack and tell people. And if you're just into supporting my work, join Patreon. Patreon is a great community. I don't feel like I do enough at Patreon, but I'm doing my best and continuing to just try and remain consistent with making sure that the folks at Patreon are feeling loved and getting special access to the Amanda Seals. Slay Girl, I don't collab with nobody. I've done my time with collabing. I don't collab with nobody. You know, just trying to figure out how to, again, like I'm just in process, and I appreciate all of the space that you guys have given me in this transition. And I hope one day we look back and y'all are like, remember when Amanda Seals was in process and now she's Dr. Seals, etc. or whatever. Yeah. So I'm going to go edit this Topher Shanks video so that you all can check out Topher Shanks. If you have not gone to Amanda Land Exports yet to check out the Ancestor calling cards, please do. I am very proud of them, and they're basically super dope. And I will be showing you them again tomorrow morning. And thank you, Adrian. And Jonathan Gonzalez was like, why can't you do some content ahead? No, he didn't say it like that. Let me not misrepresent him. He was like, oh, you could bank some content. And I was like, oh my God, y'all be acting like I'm able to do that. But I'm actually going to bank some content. So for all of y'all on Patreon, you know, Patreon gets a lot of my like political commentary. They also get the softer side of seals. They also get, you know, like things going on in my life, right? So like they get to like see my animals, they get to see my home, and I have some stuff coming for y'all over the course of July when I'm off that I think you're really going to appreciate. So I foraged dandelion leaves, and I've made a whole dandelion sandwich. So we're going to see that. Y'all are also going to get to see a stuffed animal tour of my house. Because one of the things that when I was finding out about my autism and they started talking about stuffed animals, I was like, wait, is this a real thing? And there is a stuffed animal in every eye line of my house. If y'all are like, is there a stuffed animal in front of you right now? Yes. There is always a stuffed animal in every eye line of my house. Literally. So I'm going to give you all a stuffed animal tour. Yes, you get to see the bat. So I'm going to give you a stuffed animal tour. I also am in the process of putting together my art studio. And so I'm going to give you all some background on some of the artwork in there, because all the artwork in there is art that I've gotten from my travels. So I'm also going to be giving you all a little bit of a background of that. So that's some of the stuff. Oh, and I did a whole thing with my Uncle Winston when I was in Grenada, where we planted together. He was teaching me how to plant vegetables. And my Uncle Winston is a character in himself. Okay. So he used to be the head of the trauma unit at Downstate Medical in Brooklyn for like forever. And he's just a little man with a big vibe. So that is also getting ready for y'all on Patreon. Yes, Winston Mitchell. So he is featured. So y'all are going to get all of these videos while I'm gone. And I'm also going to, of course, going to give an assignment to my Views from Mainland folks. I am Uhura. Listen, I have a bucket of Beanie Babies. I regret nothing. Some of them are still in the plastic bags. Yes, my Princess Diana Beanie Baby is still in the plastic bag. Yes. Okay. Yes, Sharon, he the one with the house. See, Sharon is referencing a previous episode of Small Doses Bonus. So for those of you all who are here that are not subscribers to Patreon, understand that this is a rare occasion. You got to come in here and experience what we do on Sundays here at Patreon. We have Small Doses Bonus episode where we just talk about more like personal stuff, and I share with them about things that are going on behind the scenes, etc. And that's part of being a part of the safe space of Patreon. So shout out to my Patreon folks in here who have been sharing with you all some of the other stuff that we have at Patreon. I do doodles. So I share with them like some doodles from the past and the present. I also do bedtime tea, and we do palette cleanse. And I really try my best to on Patreon give you my thoughts, also things to like break up the mayhem of the day, and also things to like uplift. Those are the 3 tent poles. And then we start every day on Monday through Friday with morning musings. So there you go. You get all that good stuff. You also, of course, get video of Small Doses Podcast, and you get the bonus section from Small Doses Podcast. And now that I'm writing on Substack, you also will get the audio of me on Substack. And as if I don't have enough things on my plate, but as an artist, like you can never have enough artistry. I downloaded Logic and I'm going to start making my own music to go behind my readings on Substack and my art. So we got a lot coming up now that I've gotten to the other side of this weird depression that I was in. And I'm just really looking forward to forging ahead. This break in July is going to be really beautiful to now start back in August and give y'all the next phase of Seals. All right. So with all that, everyone have a good night. I will see you tomorrow morning with Views from Amandaland. And, we are each other's business. Good luck to the Knicks. I don't even know if we should get a championship because I don't know what New York will do if the Knicks won. Forget the finals. If they just win the Eastern Conference. I feel like they may make Philly look like docile. So we shall see. Good night, y'all.